Hello and welcome to another edition of 10 Count. I'm your host, Michael Montero. With me as always, the editor-in-chief of Ring TV, Mr. Doug Fischer. And you may have noticed a new face here on 10 Count, the middleweight champion of the world, Mr. Gennady Golovkin.
Thank you, man.
Triple G, let's start with you. You are nominated for Fighter of the Year on the Espy Awards, coming up in 2 days on the 15th. How do you feel just to be nominated for such a big award? How has that been for you?
I feel great, very interesting. For me, this is my biggest nomination, and it's very important, I think. I feel great.
Have you noticed, has there been more fan buzz? Has there been more fans? You were on TMZ lately.
Yes.
Now you're on the ESPYs on ESPN. Do you think people are starting to finally recognize you?
First of all, thank you to my people. This big deal for me and for my career. Thank you to my team. I think this year's first step for a big fight, for long, history.
Right, big names, right?
For big name, yeah. Absolutely.
But obviously it means that your name recognition has bled over to the American public. To be nominated for an Espy means you're not just known by boxing fans, you're known by U.S. sports fans.
Exactly.
And that's a big step. I mean, there's a lot of American fighters who have not yet made that step, who are still working towards doing that. Did it surprise you at how fast it happened? Because you made your American debut in September of 2012, not that long ago. Or to you, does it seem like it's been a long road, a lot of hard work to get to this point?
Yeah, right. You're right. Yeah, for me, it's just like 50-50, and very quick, fast, and it's okay because I'm ready. Long time ago, I'm ready to everybody. I'm ready. I understand my situation. I'm ready.
I remember 5 years ago, you didn't have a promoter.
Yes.
You were in arbitration, or you had a legal dispute
correct, yeah.
with, was it Universum, the German promoters?
German promotion, yeah.
And you weren't able to fight in the United States, and really your career was in limbo. At any point did you ever say, you know what, it may not happen, I may not get that opportunity, or did you always believe that you would find the right promotional company and make your name in America?
It's absolutely right. 4 years ago, changed my life, my boxing life, my career, my whole style.
Was the real change just coming to America, coming to train here? Was
Absolutely,
that really the
yes.
first step?
Yes, absolutely.
You just had a really exciting performance against Willie Monroe Jr. here in Los Angeles. We're right down the road in Inglewood. What's next for you? You've tried to get Carl Froch in the ring. That fell through. There's been other names that have been mentioned. Are there any fighters that you think are ready to get in the ring with you? Is there a list of names or opponents?
Mike, this is good question because I don't know who is next. I'm ready I'm open for everybody, I don't know. We're working, my team, my manager, my promotion, he work. I don't know. Right now I have WBC interim belt. My goal is all the belts in middleweight division. My focus on middleweight division. I want unification fight, like that. I don't know who is next.
Obviously, the huge fight, Canelo Alvarez versus Miguel Cotto, that's supposed to happen in November. That's for the ring middleweight title and the WBC middleweight title, and you're obviously the mandatory challenger for the WBC belt. But that fight takes place at the end of this year, so conceivably, if you got the winner of that fight, it wouldn't be until 2016. Are you planning to wait until the winner of that fight makes himself available, or do you want to fight one more time before the end of this year?
No, I work. I don't wait. Maybe I have 2, maybe 3 fights. It doesn't matter for me. Just my plan, 4 fights per year, and I hope maybe in September or October I have unification fight. It doesn't matter. Maybe David Lemieux, maybe Andy Lee is big name because is both champions.
Right.
What did you think of David Lemieux's title-winning effort against Hassan N'Dam?
It's good performance. He's a very strong guy. Very interesting. I think great fight for fans, for TV. It is good step, good experience.
Would you be willing to go to Montreal for that fight?
I think better in United States. In Montreal, it's a big step back. I think Madison or California.
So you would go to Madison Square Garden possibly for that fight?
Probably.
Yeah.
Because,
That makes sense.
Meet in the middle. It's
Yeah.
kind of,
Yeah.
not
Well, Montreal's
halfway,
East
right?
Coast, they would just come
Yeah.
south, yeah.
Just, like for everybody's good.
You live here in Santa Monica now, in the LA area. Is it important to you to keep fighting here at least once a year and keep building up this fan base out here?
Yes, absolutely, for my career. Just first of all for my family. I have son. He's 6 years old. He going to school this year. This.
Making friends
Yeah, right.
here.
Yeah, great time for us, and my wife she loved it. So, California style. She loved it. People, weather is beautiful. She's happy. I'm happy too.
Let's talk about Andre Ward. There's been a lot of talk about this fight. Recently, he's talked a little bit of trash back and forth, right,
Yeah,
with
right.
your team about moving up in weight, a possible catch weight, when would the fight happen, et cetera, et cetera. What are your thoughts on a fight with Andre Ward? Stylistically, time-wise, what do you think about that matchup?
I think this is an amazing fight. I think, maybe 1 year ago, this is like second biggest fight, after May and Floyd. I think this fight, like, number one, because, I respect him, he's great champion, and just for boxing, not for money, not for business, just for boxing, for everybody, I like old school, like who is number one.
Right.
This is very important for me. I want this fight, I understand just situation for both, for him, for me, like maybe when need time, he just for commercial too. This is just for commercial. I'm ready, I'm ready going to fight too, like tomorrow. Doesn't matter for me.
So even though your goal is to unify all of the titles at 160 pounds,
Yeah.
would you be willing to step up to 168 pounds and fight Ward before you unify?
Or is it more important
Before
to
you
unify?
before you become the undisputed champ at middleweight, would you be willing to step up in weight and fight Ward, and then would you go back down and finish business at middleweight?
No, look down. My focus 160. This is just for me. Just this is my goal. Is all the belts. And Andre, I don't know. I don't understand. He's 168 or 75, like that, like 74.
His
I don't
last
know.
fight was light heavyweight.
I don't know. For him, I think for everybody, for business, not for business, just for work. I don't know, like 75. No, what the hell, 75? He worked like 68. I'm 160. I think to middle is very correctly for him and for me. Not 160, not for 68. 164 is very correctly for everybody.
So you're saying for this fight, a catch weight makes sense because you're the man at 160, he's the man at 168, so
Yeah, this
you go up 4 pounds, he comes down
like
4
50-50,
pounds.
like 50-50 money, 50-50 situation, 50-50. Because okay, maybe he has more, like people, more situation for him is better. Like long time ago, like 2-3 years ago. Right now, like he's new. People he forgot him.
Yeah.
Like this is true.
Out of sight, out of mind.
He's great champion, and people need.
But what do you say to his fans or the fans who don't like catch weights, who criticize catch weights, who say, well, he's the champ at super middleweight, so you should go up and challenge him. You should be his challenger to fight for the super middleweight title. Like, don't you want to win the super middleweight championship?
No, for me it doesn't matter. For me it's very important 160. For my friends, everybody want stay 160 because like long time, maybe like Bernard Hopkins style, like like this, like big legends. And for biggest fight, it doesn't matter. I'm going to 164, 168.
But that would be a one-time situation for a big pay-per-view type of fight.
Yes.
Okay. Well, there you have it, fight fans. Let us know what you think. Find us on Twitter. Hit us up. Comment below. For Doug Fischer and the middleweight champ of the world, Gennady Golovkin, I'm Michael Montero. We'll see you next time on 10 Count.